All right, we're wrapping it up with our week of Michael Jackson podcasts. We did our review on the Michael movie earlier this week. We also did our 50 for 50 deep dive into Off the Wall. And now we're talking our top 5 Michael Jackson songs from Off the Wall through Dangerous. So 1979 through, when did Dangerous come out?
1991.
91. So before we get to the actual top 5 list, I have some questions because we talked about this a little bit in the 50 for 50 deep dive. I am not a fan of it's the Falling in Love and Girlfriend necessarily. You mentioned The Girl Is Mine being one of those songs for you. Now, you also said that Heal the World is one of your least favorite songs.
Yes.
Now, this is our Rock With It, Stop With It segment here. Where are you on Keep the Faith?
Good song. Rock with it. Shout out Shanice Wilson.
I rock with it too. The song, the production itself is solid, but I think his vocals on that song are some of the most soulful vocals that he has on that entire album.
Yeah,
on Dangerous.
That song is basically Man in the Mirror Part 2. I think the same people actually wrote both songs, Glenn Ballard and Saida Garrett. But Michael singing on that song is incredible. Like he is feeling it.
Yeah, it is amazing. I don't have too many more Rock With It, Stop With It, because there are.
I feel like we could do a whole hour of Rock With It, Stop With It on Michael Jackson.
Yeah, but I think I already know the answer on some of that stuff for you. Okay, let's do. Where are you with Black or White these days?
Stop with it. That's another one of I can't. I didn't like the song then. I don't like it now.
Okay, what did you not like about it when it came out?
It's corny. It's just kind of like it's silly and very basic.
I don't dislike it. I mean, I understand what you're saying. In a time when we had seen so much Michael Jackson, and by the early 90s, he wasn't the coolest thing on the block anymore.
No, he was not.
From an image standpoint.
He was not.
So he could have picked a better first single to come out with from that perspective, but from his worldly perspective, that song was a giant hit. But if you were a longtime Michael Jackson fan, that is not necessarily the type of music that you were wanting from him to come out.
Nah, and it's really interesting to think about, right? Like, so Dangerous comes out, you and me, we're in high school.
Yep.
And I think the general consensus, at least, speaking specifically to like my high school in New York City in the early 90s, like we talked about Michael a lot, but when we talked about Michael Jackson, at least from like I caught so much shit for being a Michael Jackson fan at that time. It was not cool as a teenager to like Michael Jackson. So when we talked about him, because there'd be the video premiere on Fox and people would all talk about the videos the day after, it was more from a standpoint of like, yo, what is wrong with this dude? Than, oh yeah, we're really checking for that new Michael Jackson record.
He was still, I thought, having Macaulay Culkin in that video. Now, maybe one side of the fandom is like, the Home Alone kid, like why? There are many other kids that you could be friends with or that you could put in your video.
Another Bad Creation was in that video too.
Okay. True.
Yeah.
The Bart Simpson thing was there, right? Bart Simpson and the Simpsons going kind of soon to be going head up with the Cosby Show around that time.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one faux pas with this song though is, and this goes back to I think we talked about this in our review of Michael, the manipulation of the Michael Jackson narrative, because when Black or White came out, the joke was, oh, he's making a joke about himself.
Right. He doesn't know if he's black or white.
White.
Yeah.
And he had to know that people were going to make that joke because by the time Dangerous comes out, he's much lighter, like, and distinguishedly looks different for,
Mhm.
if you look at Thriller from 82 to Dangerous in 91, two different human beings. So he had to know that that was going to be part of the conversation about that song.
Right. He had to know.
And so he's leaning into it in a way, which I'm not sure. I mean, maybe if you and so this would be a thing for those of us who are real big fans of his, is like, we wanted to know like what was going on. He almost leaned into the stories and then would not really explain it truthfully about what was going on
Right.
until much later, when he was going through some troubles, then he would be a little bit more honest with some of these stories. But like that was also part of it, was like, is this guy insane or not? Like, is
Right.
he crazy? And do we want to rock with this guy who may not be all there?
Right.
Still talented as all hell,
Right.
but like that was also part of it for us, I think,
Yeah,
growing
he's
up.
just there was no relatability to him at all.
And that started also to become some of his music in the not a little bit in danger. You could start to see the seeds of it in Dangerous, but
Yeah.
post Dangerous, it was all the him leaning into the rumors and shouting out at the tabloids and,
Right.
just making songs that were kind of like odd subject matter. And who's Dom Sheldon? Like, who are you yelling at? Like, we don't
Right.
even know who this person is. So he's doing all of these things kind of in secret, and he's not, like you're saying, like, he's not relatable but we're talking about a different time. So,
Yes.
okay, I'll do one last one, because this was not a single from what I remember, but the title track of Dangerous.
Oh, rock with it. That's a
I lo
bop.
I love that song,
Yeah.
and I think he should have done more with it. And the reason why I say that is because when he does his VMAs performance, which would come out, I think, during the History time,
Yeah.
part of this performance is he does a little bit of Dangerous,
Yeah. I mean,
which is the album before.
he straight up performed he did Dangerous on the American Music Awards. Like, just did the whole song like it was a single, and it wasn't ever a single.
Right.
I think there were plans to release it as a single at some point, and it just never happened. But I mean, that song is incredible.
By the way, this has been bothering me since you said it. When you said Another Bad Creation, you meant Crisscross.
No, Another Bad Creation.
They're in the black or white video?
They're in the black or white video on the stoop with Michael Jackson and Macaulay during the rap part. ABC is in the video.
Oh.
Crisscross is in the Jam video.
Jam video. That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember Another Bad Creation being in
Yeah,
it.
they're in there.
You know why I probably don't remember? Because I would have just assumed that Biv was there with him.
Hi. I can imagine that phone call. Mike Biv, this is Michael Jackson.
Poor Biv. Biv should have been in that video, man.
Video. Seriously. Throw BBD up in that video.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's just dig into the top 5 here. So I'll go first.
Okay.
And the back the 4 and 5 were probably where I kind of questioned myself a little bit. And I'll tell you, the song that I knocked off for this list, well, we'll get to it when we get there, but I knocked off a Dangerous song for another Dangerous song. That's what I was struggling with. But let's go. I'll start my number 5 with Lady in My Life.
Great song.
If you think of She's Out of My Life, and then the ballad or one, that same kind of style of song on Thriller, it just sounds like a grown adult version of that song. Like, this is the teenage young 20s version, and here's like a guy who maybe has done some more things. Like, he just sings it again. I'll use the word soulfully again. There's just a little bit more adult to his voice, bass to his voice, like experience to his voice, I think. And I think that's why I like it so much.
Yeah, I mean, She's Out of My Life is very like a puppy love kind of song. Whereas the lady in my life is like, as my man Tommy would say, Mike GTD.
Getting the draws.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, what's 5 for you?
So first of all, my top 5 has no songs from Bad or Dangerous
Okay.
on it.
Hey, that's fine.
And my number 5 song actually is not on a Michael Jackson album at all. It's "Tell Me I'm Not Dreaming," which is Jermaine Jackson featuring Michael Jackson.
That's such a good
But
pick.
it's such a great song, and Jermaine and Michael sound so perfect together. Like, Michael's bringing his A game, and you could always tell when where he had, he was feeling himself and had competition, because he sings Jermaine out that entire song.
So I was thinking about this a little bit when we're watching the movie. Joseph, as portrayed by Coleman Domingo, everything is about the brothers, because I think in his mind, the second Michael goes solo, they're just left in the dust,
Yeah.
right? And that's who he's key. That's his managerial spot too. But I wonder if the move would have been to have, once Jermaine comes back into the fold, because he stays on Motown for a while because he's married to Berry Gordy's daughter.
Yeah.
I wonder if getting Michael and Jermaine to do stuff together would have been a move, because you have a song like this, and there's other songs where Michael's just singing background randomly, and you're like,
Sure.
Isn't this dude like the biggest pop star in the world? Why is he just randomly singing background on some of these songs?
Yeah, I mean, the period between Off the Wall and Thriller, like, Michael was on everybody's record. Like, he's on a Kenny Loggins record. He's on a Minnie Riperton record. He's on Stevie Wonder. All I do is think about you. He's doing all this stuff. He's just like, I feel like Mike just pulled up to the studio, was like, need me? And people would be like, hell yes, I want Michael Jackson on my record. But yeah, I mean, why wouldn't he just be like, hey, But I mean, the answer to that, I think, is that Michael, the other brothers and Motown were in litigation until the early 80s. So he would not, although Stevie Wonder was on Motown.
Yeah.
And he's on his record. So I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass. I don't know why that didn't happen.
I just think it would have been cool to hear more stuff with both of those guys together.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, now here's where I flip-flopped. As I was saying, I'm just going heart. There's just songs that when they come on, I'm ready to sing. It's kind of like the idea of watching a movie that you've seen 1,000 times and you don't get sick of it.
Sure.
Remember the Time was on this list at number 4. And then as I listened more closely to Dangerous, I was like, if I'm being honest with myself, the song I'm more excited to hear from Dangerous is actually Who Is It?
Wow.
And I think some of that is because when I kind of did my rebirth of being a Michael Jackson fan, so around the time that History comes out, I still like his stuff, but I was in this zone of like, hip hop more so, listen to early hip hop, and then 95 when History comes out, I'm like, you know what? Like, this is, in a sense, this is something from my youth that I really want to pay attention to. Like, I want to get back into the swing of things. So then I kind of went back to Dangerous and was like, I need to just re-listen to this album. And if you remember a lot of the momentum coming out of History, obviously with History being 2 discs, it was a greatest hits album and the new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lean towards, here's all of the stuff that I was doing. And so they would put out all these, video cassettes. There was like a History Volume 1, and then there was like a History Volume 2 video. So there was this lean into like, here's the stuff you may have missed while we're trying to get you back up to speed on this stuff with History. And so I would go back into Dangerous, and I think Who Is It was like one of those songs where I was like, man, how did I miss this one in my first listen? And it just became one of those songs. Given to Me is another very similar one for that same reason. It was like, and this is a different Mike, right? I think a lot of Dangerous is him thinking cinematically on how can I make this video of this like fictionalized event, or maybe it's not a fictionalized event, but he's making it bigger, thinking about it cinematically. How can I make this video? Like, Who Is It? It just feels like it was like a little movie waiting to happen,
Yeah.
the way that he performs it. So that song has stuck with me, when I did my investigation into MJ.
Yeah. I mean, my memories of Who Is It? First of all, it comes after Black or White. So by that point, I'm ready. It actually Heal the World and Black or White are back to back on Dangerous, which is like subject strategically, I understand why, but it's also like the bottom drops out of the album, like right in the middle.
He created a whole foundation out of that song.
Yeah. Well, good for him and good for the kids that he helped heal. Not good for my ears. But Who Is It kind of like starts the album like going back up a little bit. The other thing I remember is when he did the special with Oprah, he sang Who Is It a cappella and like beatboxed it. And that was the shit that really just like blew people's minds. And they were going to release Give In To Me as the next single. And then after the Oprah special, they switched and they released Who Is It? And the other thing I remember about Who Is It is that it had 2 videos. It had one which kind of matched up to the plot a little bit. And then the other one was just like a compilation of clips from like every other Michael Jackson video.
Yeah. Yo, yeah, I definitely remember that.
Yeah.
All right, what's number 4 for you?
Number 4 for me is Human Nature. Just again, super. I mean, I don't know about smooth. It's smooth, but it's also very like reflective, kind of sad a little bit. Very, I think lyrically very cinematic. Like you can actually kind of see the song as it's happening. Shout out to Teddy Riley and SWV for giving that song a second life, and to Nas for giving that song a third life.
Yep.
It's just, it's lasted all of these years. Yeah, man, it's just, and his, Michael's singing is incredible.
It's number 3 for me.
Okay. Oh wow, good segue.
And you know what I also really like about that song is his live version of that song. He sings it a little differently on certain lines. He'll accentuate different things, and a lot of it is him striking a pose at a specific time.
Yeah,
so
it's
I
very
always
dramatic.
love that about that song too.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is I Can't Help It. Michael and Stevie. I wish that Michael and Stevie had made like an entire album together back in like the late 70s or early 80s when both of them were kind of like peaking. I think it would have been like a great record.
Where are you with Just Good Friends?
Stop with it. Stop. But it's funny because Michael's also on a song on Stevie's album called Get It, and Get It is like 50 times better than Just Good Friends.
Yeah.
But man, I Can't Help It is just so like dreamy and it like puts you in a mood, and it's got a little bit of like jazz elements to it, and it's just like, I think Michael as like a song stylist, as like an interpreter, just like that to me is his best record.
Yeah, I love that song. I love that. It would have been on the next few songs on my list too. All right, number 2 for me. We kind of teased this out already on our full episode. Rock With You.
Also my number 2.
It's like I said, it's perfect. There's like nothing wrong with this song whatsoever.
It is my karaoke go-to.
And the only song above it for me is Billie Jean, but that's just because it's one of my favorite songs of all time. Like
I would say Billie Jean is my favorite song of all time.
I mean, I'd have to think about that for sure. But man, like that song is amazing. And then, I know this is part of the generation, but when you hear it, then you think about the video, and then when you hear it, then you think about the Motown
25, yeah.
And so all of those things just hit you like a wave when that song comes on.
So do you remember Motown 25 at all, or was
I didn't watch it, but what I had was my next door neighbor had recorded it on video cassette. So I got to see it after it had happened.
Okay.
And, and it was probably post, like, I don't know how much later after it happened, but, yeah, I mean, I had access to it. And, I told you my Thriller story already, where my cousin, like, took me to somebody's house to watch it, and he didn't tell me what it was, because back then it was on schedule whenever you could see the Thriller video.
Right.
But I also remember the first time I saw the Billie Jean video. Like, I remember being at honestly, like a pizza parlor or something, and they were playing MTV. And then I just remember, and probably because video games at that point were, just going insane. And there was a game called Cubert, where you'd use a little guy and he would
Mm-hmm.
jump on spaces, and those spaces would light up when you touch them. And
Mm-hmm.
so then I remember seeing the Billie Jean video and goes, "Oh, he's lighting up the spaces as he
Just
touched
like
them, like
Hubert.
on Cubert." Yeah. So,
Wow. Yeah,
yeah.
man. I got to watch that on TV when everybody else saw it. Um, and it was incredible. I Every time I watch that performance, like, I tear up. It's just so, like, something I've seen like a million times. And actually, one story I'll tell. I worked in record stores for a number of years, and there was a period. This is maybe like spring 2002. So it's New York City. It's maybe like 5, 6 months after 9/11. Like, the mood in New York City is still kind of like weird. And Invincible had been out for a couple of months, and it's an electronics record store similar to like a Best Buy or Circuit City.
Mhm.
So there are screens all over the place that are showing movies or whatever it is. And at this particular point in time, it's middle afternoon. We're showing one of Michael's DVDs, of his videos and all that stuff. Motown 25 performance comes on, Billie Jean. Everybody that is shopping stops and is just like looking at the screen. And this is 20 years later.
Yeah.
Like, the power that that man had over people, the power that his music and his performances had over people. Like, no, I don't care. It's not Beyonce, not Usher, not Prince, not Elvis, not the Beatles. Like, nobody had the power to just like take people out their day to just like watch someone perform or hear somebody sing the way Michael Jackson did.
Yeah, it's incredible. By the way,
Yeah.
I looked it up. Cubert came out 1 month and 10 days before Thriller did.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Great minds thinking alike.
Yeah, that's how my brain, like, remembered those two things together,
I
I'm
forgot
sure.
about Hubert.
All right. We got through this one, and the next one that we will have an episode next week. I can actually say this because we already recorded it. Our episode on Neo, on You're the Gentleman, will be next week.
Right.
And then that will put us into May. So, this is a year-long project for us. So to be 4 months and some change through this,
we're a third of the way
we're
through.
a third of the way through.
Yeah.
And lots of really cool albums left to go. So, just to get this far has been pretty tremendous, because it's put, you and I have put in hours and hours on this thing. So
Yes, we have.
it's been a blast. Like, I love it. I'm always looking forward to what the next thing is, and it's setting up how I listen to music and what I'm listening to and my schedule of listening and how I need to get through this before we record. So I'm having fun with it.
Good deal. Same.
All right. That is it from here. For Mike, I'm Double G. See you next week. Peace out.